Hey everybody, this is Eric Porter. I'm with George Lamie and Pete Pardo, and we are bringing you a little 4Fusion Friday song battle tonight. So these, I believe, George, these were picked by you.
They were on a suggestion from Mr. Pardo, actually. I
Ah,
asked him if he had seen our short songs one, and he had, and he's like, I'd like to see a long one. He's like, actually, I'd be guessed on that. So I was like, all right, sounds good.
that is true. With the epic shows we've been doing on in the Prague seat, I guess this fits in rather nicely.
So I guess I'm
So,
popping my cherry tonight on 4Fusion Song Battle, right?
well, little inspiration.
Yeah.
This, I don't know. I'm not happy with this one. We always say that, but this is killer. So for epic song battle, we have uh, four different bands. We've got Snarky Puppy, not a great shot from We Like It Here. This is Lingus. We have Jean-Luc Ponty from Enigmatic Ocean, and we are doing two from Chick Corea. We have one Return to Forever, Duel of the Jester and the Tyrant, and we have one from the Electric Band, Tale of Daring. So let's get into the epics. Um, George, why don't we make you the leadoff hitter tonight? We'll start with you.
All right. Battle A, Lingus versus Duel the Jester and the Tyrant. I'll start with Lingus. Um, I hadn't thought about it, but then it did dawn on me. This song has been consumed more than any of the rest of these songs, maybe more than all of them put together. Uh,
Consume meaning how? Like,
it has 40 million views on YouTube. I
Wow.
guarantee
how?
40 million
Jesus.
people haven't heard Duel of the Jester and the Tyrant. I mean, this is the definition of a viral track. And for a fusion track, I mean, that's just not a thing. So you're
Yeah,
dealing with
what is
something.
driving that? That's crazy.
Yeah, I think the reaction channels drove it because
Um,
mostly because of the Corey Henry keyboard solo, which is ridiculous. You got an intro riff here, and the change that they do, and they channel through that twice, and then uh, you get to Chris Bullock and Mike Maher trade solos on sax and trumpet, short solos. Bullock has effects on the sax. But then everything drops out, and there's an ostinato pattern on the bass drum and piano key, and in comes Corey Henry for his solo, and it is everything that people say it is. It's memorable, well written, it builds, it gets to techniquey parts, it's weird, and a couple parts he's playing on two different boards. I mean, it's the real deal. It's every bit as good as people say it is. It spawned covers of it, guys covering it on guitar, and it's just a great solo. Um, and the way it builds, you got Larnell Lewis playing simply at first, and then he builds up the drum beat by the end of it. It's pretty frantic. Then they got some unison horn lines that come in at the end of his solo, and they're doing unisons, filling space, and he's still soloing. That part's really cool the way they have it arranged. And then they go out. Just a great song. Almost 11 minutes. Probably it's the shortest one of the group this month. Then you got the classic RTF, Duel of the Jester and the Tyrant. Um, you know, this is my all-time favorite album, so I love this song. Like 12 and a half minutes or so. Again, you got an intro keyboard part. Diniola comes in, he's the first soloist. One of my favorite guitar solos ever. So melodic, so memorable, good technique, of course. Then Chick solos, and again, his solo is top notch. I will say that about all four of these songs tonight. Is the soloing is both It's virtuosic, it's memorable, it's, I mean, they're just complete solos. There's no lacking at all. They're a big addition to all these songs. So after Chick solos, they go into a section where they're doing trades with Demiola, Stanley Clark, and Lenny White playing. Lenny White's playing drum breaks, and Demiola and Clark are trading solos, and then they take it out. Um, I would say both of these songs. I can't say I would arrange them any differently or add anything or pull anything. I mean, that's why this one's so hard because they are constructed so well, played so well. All these songs tonight for me are 5-star songs, but even at that, there's levels of 5-star songs. There's barely a 5, a steady 5, and there's like it could be 6 or 7. For me, that's Return Forever. So I go Return Forever here.
Pete.
All right, so yeah, these are all four great songs. I agree 100% there. The Snarky Puppy track probably contains the greatest keyboard solo of the last decade or so by in any style of music by any band. I mean, it's this guy. Just when you think you heard it all in the solo, he keeps taking it to new heights. And I love when the keyboard solo is just getting ridiculously bonkers, yet so melodic. Lewis is doing some amazing stuff on the drums underneath. It's like the two of them are just building together. It's really really a work of art. I love the horn arrangement at the beginning of the song. Um, I think the drumming is really good throughout the whole song. There's really good bass playing as well. It's a really really great track. It's really really great. It's catchy. It's kind of hip. Is that like I don't even know if it's the word I'm looking for, but it's like modern, it's hip, it's like a trendy song. It's like fusion for like modern palettes, so to speak. It's really well done. And I just can't stress how great the keyboard solo is. It's really good. But the problem is it's going up against one of the all-time greats from, like George said, one of the great albums ever released, one of my favorite albums of all time. And every guy is just killing it on this song. I mean, Chick's synth work in the beginning is amazing. Then he launches into this great Rhodes passage, and then Al comes in. He's doing this like tasty little passage, and then he shreds. And then Chick comes in with the synth solo, and then Stanley's just doing all sorts of great groovy stuff. Lenny's doing his thing. And then it gets kind of funky, and it's almost sounds a little proggy. I mean, I listened to the song. There's like parts of the song, especially like late in the track, where it reminds me of like Kansas. Like I'm thinking like the Spider and stuff off like Point of No Return. It's very close to prog. It's like I don't know how much jazz this is, but it's really really good. And that like Stanley bass solo that leads into that shred and solo from Demiola is just it's great, and the whole the majestic ending is just fantastic. It's a great track off a great album. Yeah, it's 5 out of 5 star, but really this is like 10 out of 5. That's how good this is. Um, yeah, it gets my win. As great as the Snarky Puppy track is, I knew going in that it couldn't be anything other than RTF here. So that wins it for me in this first round.
Fair. Definitely fair. George, I like that you brought up that YouTube video. I guess I never realized that it had that many hits, but I remember seeing that and I was really intrigued with the whole studio setting. Everyone sitting around with headphones
It's
and
inviting, right? There's something
yeah,
inviting about the video, right? Yeah.
it really is. And I can't remember if that was my first exposure to Snarky Puppy or if I had seen them somewhere and then went out looking. But I just remember watching that video over and over. You guys have talked about the drumming, and I know the keyboard solo is great, but a lot of the camera shots are right in front of the drummer. And to me, he's just so powerful. What a great groove he sets up on the slower parts, like that beginning intro is got that kind of slow. I don't even know if it's a synth bass or bass. It's just got that sound to it.
Yeah.
The keyboards, the horn arrangements in this are fantastic. But like you guys have kind of pointed out, the keyboard solo is just over the top, incredible. And there's a lot of little stuff going on in between too. You got the electric keys that are kind of underneath that, obviously the synth solo going on. But I think George, you mentioned the arrangements, and yeah, there's no argument. This is built really well. Again, like I said, starts with that slow groove, kind of funky. And you got little things in there. There's that little guitar break, and then everything comes back in with the groove and the horns. Just so well put together. And then again, as you mentioned, the iconic Return to Forever. George, and I know this is your favorite album of all time, but again, you get that kind of there. You can't say anything bad about any of these, so this is just kind of fun to talk about. You got that little ominous keyboard bass opening. I love the riff where the keys come in, the electric piano with a little lead over the top, and just listening to Al play. I mean, the articulation, his picking, it's incredible. Like you said, it's kind of each guy, it's a little master class, right? You got these amazing guitar solos. Chick is just amazing in this. I love his synth runs. And then the band kind of starts building things up again. About 6:57 minutes in, you get this nice funky thing, good bass line, and then Stanley comes in and solos. And maybe that's the thing with these guys is that each musician, Stanley is such a unique sounding player. Al is such a unique sounding player. Like right, Chick is Chick Corea, and Lenny White is just a monster. So you've got these four guys who you can pick out of a crowd, like that when you hear them play. So as much as I love that Snarky Puppy track, I think I got to go. We're going to get a 3 out of 3 here with the Return to Forever. It's just, I don't know. How do you? They're hard to pick, but how do you do?
How do you go against like
right,
ultra greatness, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Is anyone else wondering what Mike Chadwick would pick?
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. You mentioned the drumming about Lingus. I'd be remiss if I didn't. I don't know if you guys know the story. It was supposed to be Sput drumming on that song, the original drummer, and he got sick. He couldn't make it. So they called Larnell Lewis, and they're like, "Fly over here and play the gig." And he doesn't know any of the songs. So
Wow,
they emailed him demos, and he listened to them on the plane on his laptop, and then went and played them.
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's the level of players we're dealing with here.
Jesus.
All right, George, back to you with the other side.
Battle B. I'll tackle Enigmatic Ocean first. Again, basically a perfect arrangement. It's a 4-part suite. The first part's the building part, very effective. Right away, you're sucked in. The production's excellent. But it really takes hold. Part 2, man. Part 2 is one of my favorite things in Fusion. The riff is great. The beat underneath it, Steve Smith and Ralph Armstrong are going bananas. It's in 7. Steve Smith playing a wicked beat, all kinds of ghost notes, and Ralph Armstrong. If you zero out and just listen to the bass line, it's crazy. If you don't, you probably don't notice it because the stuff on top of it is so captivating. But if you zero out and listen to it, it's an insane bass line. And then they set up a section where Ponti, Sturmer, Zavad, and Holdsworth all trade fours. And trust me, every note of it is so memorable, so killer. It's just a great, I think it's like 3.5 minutes. Phenomenal. Part 3 is a down-tempo riff where Holdsworth and Ponti trade solos. Again, both phenomenal. Alan building it up, very Alan-esque, the slow, bendy stuff, and then building into the crazy legato lines. Typical Ponti solo, fantastic. Then part 4 that is kind of like them, taking it back down, kind of repeating the stuff from the intro. I'd be hard pressed to come up with anything that I would change about this song. There's pretty much nothing. For Tale of Daring, this one's quite a bit later, 1990. Was a welcome thing for me. I was waiting for Chick to get back to the sweet/epic format that he used to do one on every RTF album. Hadn't done that yet with Electric Band, so he comes up with this one, 16 minutes. The first part is like cinematic. It's like a sci-fi soundtrack music. It's this big. It feels maybe the only one of this tracks that feels like an epic. It's very big, takes you in like you're taking you in somewhere. Um, that's pretty short. It's like 2 minutes. They go into the section where Marienthal and Marienthal solos over a bop riff, and then Patitucci solos. Part three, it's insane. Me being a drummer, it's a Chick and Weckl. You, I don't know what you'd call it. It's almost like a battle, although they're more in sync than battling. Chick is playing something that I don't know how he wrote it. It's crazy, and Weckl just trying to keep up. It's a very, very, very cool part. Then they come out in Gambale solos. And again, like all these other songs, all these solos aren't just solos to throw in a solo. They're all really good. So it makes this very hard. And part four is they're doing trade-offs, like short trade-offs, short eights and then fours and down to twos. It's really cool. And then the outro again is like kind of like giving you that epic feel and taking you off like a soundtrack from like Jurassic Park or something. It's really cool. Uh, this one surprised me because I assumed that I was going to pick Tale of Daring because I love Tale of Daring, but I'm going to go Enigmatic Ocean. Uh, I just I think it's perfect. I don't think you could be any better than that. And at this point in time, I found it hitting me more than Tale of Daring was. So go Enigmatic Ocean.
All right, Pete.
Yeah, this one is extremely difficult. I will be truly transparent here and say I still don't know which one I'm picking. I've debated it for the last couple of days, but I think I know which way I'm leaning. Yeah, I mean, Enigmatic Ocean is amazing. It's, as George mentioned, all the solos are just perfect. I like the opening piece because it kind of like sets the stage for everything else. I really like Alan Zavad's keyboard textures and sounds. I think he's really, really good. I love the violin. Ralph Armstrong does an amazing job on this album. And part two is just ridiculous. I mean, first of all, that bass, like George mentioned, is just absolutely sick. I love the violin comes in and you get these great solos. I mean, we talk about Holdsworth all the time, and his playing on this album is just otherworldly. But man, Starmer rips on this album. Absolutely. I'm sitting there, I hear his first solo in my head right now as I'm talking. He's got this great tone, and it's just so different than the way Holdsworth sounds. I mean, there's nothing alike about their playing at all, and I think it just works so well. And then, you get the synth solo coming in and the violin. It's all just so majestic and amazing. And Steve Smith is like going to town underneath all of this craziness. That's the cool thing. Both him and Armstrong. It's just like, it's just crazy stuff. I like part three a lot. It's got the great solos from Ponti and Holdsworth. It's kind of funky. I kind of dig it. And then part four is like really haunting. It kind of takes the tone of the first part of this track, but it makes it a little bit more majestic. And it's a really great way to close out the suite. It's a great song. It's a great album. The Turtle Suite is great too. I mean, it's just the whole thing is just really great stuff. Um, Tale of Daring, one of my favorite songs from this band, period. I remember the first time I heard this album and I put in this track and it got to this track towards the end. I remember like because I was totally into Electric Band, like almost from the get-go. But I remember like thinking like Eye of the Beholder, I really liked, but it was like it seemed like it was missing something that I wanted to hear. Again, I was like so into Return to Forever that I kind of wanted more of that aggressiveness from the Electric Band, which, in hindsight, I love all the Electric Band stuff, so I don't have any issues with it today. But I remember at times I was kind of like I wanted something different from them. And then this song came on when I bought this CD, and I was like, holy crap, I almost like shit my pants. I'm like, this is so good. So, so good. And, you know, the beginning, like George mentioned, is kind of like cinematic, kind of majestic. It's got this big, grandiose kind of theme going in. And Marienthal comes in. He's doing that kind of smooth jazz thing on the sax, but he's so good, so melodic. And then around the 2 minute mark, man, everybody comes in. And you get that crazy sax solo, you get that crazy Patitucci solo, and man, when Chick is doing that insane stuff on the piano, and Weckel's going berserk underneath. It's like, where did this come from? It's ridiculous. And then Gambale comes in for this like 2 minute long, just absolute sweet peak and shred fest. And it's just like, Jesus. And then they do that back and forth thing for like another couple of minutes. It's just like, holy cow, like where did this come from? And you have to watch the video when you're listening. You have to go on YouTube and watch the video of this when they all just kind of like the camera goes back and forth between all the guys and they're all sitting next to each other. You could just see them like looking at each other like next, next, next. It's just like it's ridiculous. The first time I saw that, I was like, I had like chills going up and down the back of my neck. And I even rewatched it again the other day. I'm like, man, this is so good. And I love the big finale. It's mind blowing. Um, I got to pick one, right? Jesus. Amazing. Uh, I have a hard time going against Chick. I'm going to pick the Electric Band Taylor Darren. It's killing me
Okay,
to not pick Jean-Luc Ponty, but you got to go with your gut, right? So,
absolutely.
yeah.
I like that it came down to right now, Pete, rather than you had this pegged before doing the show. So that's pretty cool. All right. So you guys have said pretty much everything on the Ponti. I'll agree with George that it's pretty much perfect from start to finish. Pete, I really loved your point about it's easy to talk about Holdsworth and how good Sturmer is. And I love the contrast. I love hearing Holdsworth. His phrasing is completely different. His sound's completely different. But in those sections where they kind of either play off each other or you kind of get the solos going, it really is cool to hear those two different styles and how well they both work in the context of this song. You
It's a
guys,
small thing. It's a small thing too, but when they're doing those trade-offs over part two,
mhm,
it has a buffer in between the two guitar solos. The order
yes,
that they do it in, I
Yeah,
think that was like a little stroke of genius. Like, don't
it
put them
works
back.
really well. Yeah, it
Yeah.
I
definitely works
agree.
well. Because then you
And
got
I,
the Sturmer's doing that all like real fast picking stuff, right? And then Holdsworth's doing the more legato style, and then in between you got something completely different. So it's definitely a great bridge between the two guys.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, and you guys pointed everything out. Ralph Armstrong and Steve Smith, absolutely amazing, getting that part two rolling. Part three, the funkiness. And Holdsworth and Ponti, there's just a magic there. Shame there wasn't more of them together, but I just love how listening to this over and over and over, because this is an album I go to a lot. To walk away every time you hear it and go, just shake your head like these guys are just, this is just unbelievable. That's pretty much how I would put it into words. I mean, it's jaw dropping. Not that all these tracks aren't, but there's just something about Holdsworth and Ponti that was magic. And then
You ever
this
like
band,
stop to think like to me it would have made perfect sense if these two guys did like a million albums together. It's like they seem like they were made for each other. I mean, Holdsworth,
absolutely,
we talked a lot on the channel about all these great like sideman roles that he did throughout his career, right? To me, the one that's like the absolute perfect fit is Jean-Luc Ponty's music.
Yes.
It's like I could listen to the two of them side by side forever. I mean, it's just
agree.
so good.
The band on Enigmatic Ocean should have been a set band. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
Yes.
yeah, not
that
just a
would have been
one-off, right?
as
Yeah,
good as anybody.
yeah.
And we talked about Patrice Rushin. I mean, Zavad's great on that. On the previous show, I was falling in love with Patrice Rushin when we were doing the Ponti show, but Zavad is amazing on that too. Not to discount anybody, like you said, Steve Smith, that should have been a band, and it should have been a long run for that band, but unfortunately, it was not. And then with Tale of Daring, I'll admit, Pete, what you were saying was kind of my feeling on the Electric Band for quite a while. That for some reason there was just, I know it was a different time and a different era, but I always felt there was a little something, and maybe it was looking for that power, that rawness that Return to Forever had, and especially on Romantic Warrior, but on their best stuff. So this was the track I knew the least. But when I started listening to this, and I don't want to pull an Anthony, a lot of sax from Marienthal, good. I know Anthony's not the biggest sax fan, but I think with this one, and I don't know why the recall really wasn't there. So when I went back to listen to this for the show, I was like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. The second chapter two, good keys and horns to open. I really like the bass line underneath, and Patitucci has a little bass solo in this one too. But when I listen to this and I'm listening to what Chick is doing, when he's not soloing and just his chording is just the stabbing, whatever he's playing underneath these solos, he's incredible. And then that kind of leads into chapter three between Dave Weckl and Chick. That is just absolutely, that just blows me away. I went back and listened to that over and over and over. I really love that part. And of course, Gambale gets his little moment to shine in there too, but it was just amazing playing from both Weckl and Chick in that. And even chapter four, that there's some really sizzling trade-offs in that one too. It just smokes. The unison runs in that are unbelievable. And I think George, you were mentioning the soundtrack thing. Is there is that ending kind of like a waterfall or just water as it
Yeah.
kind of tails out of the track? So an interesting end to it. I am going to go with Ponti on this one over the Electric Band, but this kind of had me, we have to do our homework, but I'm like, yeah, I got to go back and really give those Electric Band albums more, because I think I always had that feeling that it was like there was just a little something lacking. And then after listening to this, I'm like, yeah, I gotta refresh the memory on these because this was absolutely incredible. But I'm gonna go with Pawnee. Um,
I
on
find for
this
me
one.
the Electric Band albums have aged pretty well, and I think once you kind of get it out of your head that there was never meant to be Return to Forever Part Two, it's pretty damn spectacular.
Exactly.
It is, I mean, there are some albums that are better than others, obviously, but I find all of it very, very listenable still to this day.
Yeah. Although I don't listen to Light Years anymore, but yeah, the rest of it, they all have their own flavor too,
Yeah, they do.
and it really, the sax is kind of a thing. Like even if you like sax, it makes it a very much different band.
Yeah,
And the modern production too. So
yeah.
Yep. So it looks like we have ourselves Jean-Luc Ponty versus Return to Forever for the final. So George,
yeah, well, I said they're both fives. I said they're both perfect. I said
I think you said they're sixes or sevens.
yeah, they both could be, if that's what it was, that's what they're going to be. They would stretch out as far as you go. Um, there's really, I mean, the nuts and bolts of it, there's nothing to pick from to say I would like one or the other. So then you just got to go to your feels. And for the feels, got to go. Romantic Warrior,
He came
Dual
prepared
Jester
with
and
props.
Tyrant.
Look at
Look at
that.
that. The big reveal. I, I used to know a guy on the file trading scene back in the 2000 early 2000s, and he would just collect live versions of Duel of the Jester and the Tyrant. Like he'd want me to tell him if I got a new show, but he didn't want the show. He just wanted the one song. And he had like a folder,
Really?
40 versions of that song. That's how this song gets in certain people's heads. That if it hits you, it hits you, and you like that. You just love it. So happy they played it on the '08 reunion tour. It's just one of my all-time favorite songs. So sorry, Jean-Luc, but
Okay, Pete.
Return to Forever for the win. To me,
All
it's
right.
not going to lose up against any of these songs. It's that good. It's that good. Perfect song on a perfect album, and no disrespect to the Enigmatic Ocean because I love it. It's one of the all-time greats, but the Jester wins here today.
did he freeze?
He's
Looks
deep
like
in thought.
I think he froze.
He doesn't want to give an answer. That's why.
I debated not putting Duel in, putting in either Song to the Pharaoh Kings or what's the other one? What's the one on No Mystery? Uh Celebration Suite.
Oh,
I think if those were in, then I think Ponti would win for me.
uh, it's possible, right? I'm trying to think of what other. Yeah, that's possible. Not against this one though.
No, I can't. Hard pressed to, as epics go, I wouldn't put anything above it. But even regular songs, I'm hard pressed to think of what would beat it.
Yeah, and too, also, we didn't really talk too much about production on these tracks, but I think all four of these are really, really well produced. But there's something about the production on Romantic Warrior, like that's like one of the greatest sounding albums of all time, I think.
Yeah,
It really is. Not that these other ones aren't, but there's just something about that. I've always thought so since the first time I ever heard it. Really great.
yeah, it stands out, and the Snarky Puppy stands out too. That sounds phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there you have, modern technology and what it can do in a kind of format like this. I think would you say that that album is like, if you're like going to introduce someone to modern fusion, that's a great sounding album, a well-produced album, if that's like one of the top ones you'd recommend?
Yeah, that's like a go-to. And then you have the DVD component, and was it you or Eric said you were drawn in by the way everything looks and how it was all set up. There is that visual allure.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for Lingus in particular, the keyboard solo. Half the fun is watching the second keyboardist, Sean. He's going nuts while Corey is soloing. Like he just
Yep.
can't get over it. He's like, oh my God.
I didn't time it, but how long is that keyboard solo? It seems like it goes on forever, but you don't want it to end.
Yeah, it seems like half the track. It's got to be at least 4 minutes.
You would think.
And yeah, it doesn't feel over long at all.
No, no. Well, because it keeps it interesting. He takes you through all these twists and turns and stuff, and it keeps building and building, which is great. And that's the way you have to do it. Um, yeah, it's so good.
The fact that they got a 10-minute fusion song with a 4-minute keyboard solo to be viewed 40 million times in this society is just mind-blowing.
I still, yeah, I have a hard time believing that that's the actual numbers, but if that's what it says, that's what it is. I mean,
When I
could
first looked, it was like 2.5, but I was looking at the Snarky Puppy page. It originally came out on the label page, ground up. That's 37.5 million views.
I mean, I know they're popular for what they do, but
That's way out of line.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, someone's watching it. Either that or the people who really like it have watched it like a million times.
Yes.
That could be a lot of it too, right? It just could be like the same people keep watching it over and over and over again. So maybe we're looking at like, you know, 2 million. No, I don't know. Whatever. I'm just talking.
Whatever it is, it's still way too
It's
much.
still way high, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think we lost Eric here.
I mean, come on. Where's this guy?
Yeah, maybe he had a power outage or something. I don't know. With the way the wind has been around here of late, it would not surprise me.
I heard you guys had high winds.
Yeah, it's been for a couple days straight now. So, oh, here he is. Cool. Probably had to reboot his computer. Let's see the excuse.
He just didn't want to pick. You're right.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's like, don't make me choose. Asher, who do you pick?
What's your pick? He likes RTF.
He's an RTF guy? Good. Very cool. We know you just didn't want to pick. I know how it's a hard decision. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Oh, there
You're
you
good.
go.
Yeah, I got to go with Ponti.
Really?
Oh,
Oh, all right.
Yes.
wow.
Um, I don't know. I think kind of with Holdsworth, the violin, that's just my thing. That's what I really dig. So as much as I love the Return to Forever, I got to go this way on you guys. I'm going to go with a little Jean-Luc for the win on this one.
Wow.
Did not expect that. Okay. So let me
Yeah.
ask, is Enigmatic Ocean potentially like one of your favorite fusion albums of all time?
Yes, yes, easily. It's a top fiver. I've got now that I've gone through all this and been doing it for a couple of years, and George and you feeding me, that's definitely right up there. I mean, the Return to Forever is great, but I don't know that those two against each other. The violin and Holdsworth for me are just I don't know that's my thing. I dig it, so I got to go with the Pommy.
I surprised myself in the beginning. I thought sure I was going to pick Tale of Daring over it, but I ended up just feeling a little bit pushed the other way.
I'm glad you threw that in there though, because now it got the electric band stuff kicking again. So I've got to do some revisiting.
Absolutely, that's both mine and Pete's favorite Electric Band album.
Oh yeah.
There's just something a little more serious about it than the rest of
Okay.
them.
Yeah, it's great compositions. It's all very memorable. The playing is just off the charts. Yeah, I really thought I was going to pick Ponti, and part of me really wanted to pick Ponti because you know me, I'm always going to pick a 70s album over anything else. But I was like, the more I kept thinking about it, the more I'm like, God, I just love Taylor Daring so much. It's just so amazingly impressive, and it's Chick. Like I can never
It
go
really,
against
yeah.
Chick. I don't
No,
know
I
what
know.
it is. I can't. I can't.
It's incredible. Great stuff.
Yep.
Little Asher uh, visit as well.
Yeah,
He needs a Return to Forever like bib or something.
he's like, where'd Eric go? Let me see.
Actually, Asher looks like he's like half asleep. Like this episode is boring the crap out of him, right?
I don't think he feels good.
No, he's having an
No,
off day.
yeah, getting
It,
up there.
it happens.
So
All right.
next month, uh, I think we're gonna do s- Song of the Year. I think Eric and I are gonna pool uh 4 songs. We're gonna, make a short list suggestion to each other, whatever. I don't know. We're gonna come upon 4 songs, basically. Maybe we'll both pick two. Not sure how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do a Song of the Year, and really not sure who we're gonna get to join us on that one, but should be good.
Cool.
Cool. I'll be watching.
I like it. So that's another edition of 4Fusion Friday Song Battle. Thank you, Pete, for joining us and the suggestion. So keep the epics going. And like George said, we'll be back next month with we got a good 4Fusion Friday for you as well as I like the 2025 song battle. There's been a lot of good fusion this year. So there's going to be a lot
Yes.
to choose from, I think.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that. So,
I have to
but
figure out
anyway,
what
I'll
songs.
I'll give Pete a rest and say visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all
All
the
the
damn time. So please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out the links below to be alerted of all the content that goes on the channel, a little Ko-Fi, merch. It's all there. Check it out. Even become a patron, sponsor of the channel, and help us out. But thanks everybody for watching. Love doing this, and keep getting your fusion going. So take care, have a good one, and we'll see you soon.
Soon being tomorrow, join me and the Bray Dog and that random guy from Scotland for another episode of the UK Connection, and then ranking the albums of Wasp. You heard it right on Sunday. So till then, bye bye, everybody.